Okay, looks like we are broadcasting live. So hello everyone on Zoom as well as on Facebook, and welcome to the Quick Start Booj edition. My name is Michelle Hoyt. I am with Remax INTEGRA. I'm the Manager of Education and Development, and I'm super excited to host you for this holiday edition of Remax Quick Start Booj. So a lot of you joining us right now are newer to Remax. So first of all, welcome. We are so excited to have you on board. So whether you're new to the business or new to Remax, just in general, this is going to be a session that you can definitely get started with booj on. So we normally do a couple of sessions a month called Quick Start, and this one is dedicated just to helping you get set up on booj to understand the platform. And by the way, booj stands for Be Original or Jealous. So I'm actually going to share my screen and we're going to jump right into some of the things that are happening in the platform. So I think there's so much to share, and we're going to go ahead and do just that. Excuse me. So the first place you need to be to get started with booj is Max Center. So Max Center is how you will access booj. That is remax.net. Okay. So remax.net. Now, before we go into that and before we start exploring booj and the setup of it, I want to talk about something really important, and that's lead routing. The purpose of booj, it's an end-to-end platform where you will have access to not only get your leads from remax.com and a couple of other sources, but you can also take them all the way through to the end. So it's an end-to-end transaction platform. So from leads all the way to close. And we're going to explore everything in between there, as well as the websites, so that you can get set up and get started. So this is going to be a little bit longer version. It will be finished in just under 90 minutes. I know that might sound like a lot. I promise you, you will learn a lot, and I will make it fun and keep you engaged. So I promise you, that is my commitment to you. And let's go ahead and kind of jump right into this. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly pull up a screen right here and some slides that I just want you to see really quick, because this is really, really important to talk about. So when it comes to remax.com lead routing, now remax.com is hosted by booj. So just so you understand that it's the website that our brand has is hosted by the booj platform. And here's how the lead process works. So leads come into remax.com from consumers. So they browse, they look for properties, they ask for information. That's what happens. So in this first slide right here, the lead comes from remax.com. Now, when consumers register on remax.com, they have a choice in who they want to work with. It will give them the option to say, are you working with a Remax agent? They can say yes, and then they can actually type in your name or a name of any agent for that matter. They can search by last or first name. When they choose what's called a preferred buyer's agent or PBA, what happens is you become that chosen one. So you get to see all of their activities, all of their lead activities and inquiries will come directly to you no matter what and no matter whose listing it is. So that's the highest of hierarchies, is called preferred buyer's agent. You will also be able to see their activity inside of their contact record, searches, and things like that. When they use the mobile app, which we'll look at really quickly too, when they use the mobile app inside of Remax that's branded to you, then you are their preferred buyer's agent also. So again, that's what your ultimate achievement is, to be the PBA. Now, you can also become the assigned agent. What an assigned agent is, let's say that it's an inquiry on a non-Remax listing, and you signed up for the zip code of that property, and that it's your turn to get a lead. So that lead goes directly to you, and you accept it, and you become the assigned agent. You also are the assigned agent on your own listing leads. Now, your own listing leads, if that person is not already associated with another Remax agent as their PBA. If it's their first time inquiring about your listing, you get those listing leads. Those leads get assigned to you, okay? So you become that person. If it's a Remax listing, again, it goes directly to you as the listing agent. Now we're going to talk about zip codes and the setup of booj. You get to choose up to 10 zip codes, and we'll talk through how that process works. Now let's talk about this. When you get those leads sent to you, there is going to be urgency behind them. So during the normal business hours, which is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. in your time zone, some of you are in Eastern, some of you are in Central. And if you're watching from another time zone, you just know that it's your local time zone. So how this is going to work is you have 1 hour to accept those leads. Any lead that comes to you that says accept or decline has a 1 hour urgency time frame on it. If you get leads sent to you that do not have the option to accept or decline, that means it's already your lead. It has not gone to anyone else. And most likely you're the preferred buyer's agent, and it's someone that you're already working with. So don't worry about that. And if you think it's broken and why am I not able to accept this? If there's no option to do either or, it's already your lead. Now, 1 hour to accept that. If you miss it within that hour, again, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m., then it gets reoffered every 15 minutes to those of you that have signed up for the zip code of that particular property, if it's a listing lead. And every 15 minutes, it'll keep going until someone accepts it. Okay, so just know, no matter what, when you get a lead that says accept or decline, make sure you're accepting it in less than 15 minutes. So you know whether it's a reoffer or original offer, you're falling into that right time frame. Okay. All right, so how does the lead routing process work? It's called round robin. If you're not familiar with round robin, what round robin is, it's essentially what you might think it is. You get a lead in a certain zip code, and then you have to wait your turn until all the other agents that sign up for that zip code get a lead, and then you're going to be up for rotation again. Now you're going to have multiple chances in multiple different zip codes. For some of you in larger metropolitan areas, Boston, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, and in larger populated areas, you're definitely going to have a lot of other Remax agents signed up for those zip codes. So just kind of keep that in mind if there's a little bit more of a delay between leads. So again, how this works is if a lead is declined or missed after that initial hour, every 15 minutes it gets reoffered to the agent that has gone the longest without getting a lead in that particular zip code, and then it'll go to the second longest, third longest. So you see how that works. Let's talk about lead eligibility. In order to be eligible for leads, and we're going to make sure we accomplish this today, that you have to have at least one zip code signed up or set up in your system in order to get a lead. So you can do up to 10, but you need to have at least one, because if you're new to Remax and you did not get to this stage and you're not getting leads, this could be part of it too. We're also going to make sure you're set up to receive leads via text. You also cannot have missed 3 leads in a row. If you miss 3 leads in a row, the system is going to just pretty much consider that you're not interested in leads, and they're going to then declare you ineligible for leads, but you can be made eligible again, excuse me, by your office. So just to let you know, just don't ever let that happen. So your leads will come to you. The booj Crm Mobile App is going to have push notifications here pretty soon. You'll also get them by email, by text, and when it says web, that means the desktop version of booj will have notifications that you have leads coming in. Where did the leads come from? As I mentioned, they come from Remax.com. They also can come from third-party sources. So you'll be able to bring leads in from Realtor.com, Zillow, or HomeSpotter. You will get leads, the leads that you generate from your very own agent website on booj will go into your booj database, as well as from your app that you're using for Remax. The team websites, for those of you that are part of teams, office websites, multi-office. So if you're part of a company that has multiple locations or even a single location, those office websites for booj will generate leads. They get routed to you as agents, okay? So by the way, I want to encourage questions. Those of you that are on Zoom right now, you can find the Q&A box. You can find the chat box. I see some of you watching on Remax INTEGRA US. Hey, Jeremy, I see you. Jeremy is an expert on booj too, so I should have you join me. So it's good to see everyone, but I'm watching those questions over there too. Okay, I just wanted to share that lead routing with you. Again, please ask questions, participate. I want to hear from you. We've got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we talked about lead routing, but before we jump into the actual program, there's some very important places that I want you to know that you have help. Now, this session is being recorded. You will get a copy of it, but also you're going to look for information on your own, as you should, as you start learning the platform even further. So one of the key places to go is Remax University. Now you can get to it from this home screen, which might look a little different than yours, or you can click on where it says apps. So apps is going to show you, this is a single sign-on center to all of the Remax tools. We are of course talking about booj, which once again stands for Be Original or Jealous. But let's take a quick peek at Remax University. This is a vast library of educational resources, tutorials, there's even some downloads, and lots of information here to help you get acclimated to the Remax toolbox and even the brand and everything else that's available to you at Remax. So let's take a quick peek down here. I want you to scroll down if you're following along with me and able to do this, but on the left-hand side here at the bottom, there's an entire portal full of technology tutorial videos that are going to be super helpful to you in your journey with us. So right here in particular, there's an entire section dedicated just for booj. So they're from CRM to website, it's all broken down. If you just want to focus on one little feature at a time, most of the videos average about 7 minutes, maybe 6, maybe less. So lots going on here in the booj section. There's also the learning tracks. So if you want to go a little bit slower, because I'm going to go at a very rapid pace, but you can always rewind, you can always watch this back. But if you want to go at your own pace too and explore this further, or know someone in your office that missed this particular session, there's the booj learning track. So if you start from left to right, this will take you all the way through the booj platform, get you set up, get you started, so then you can focus on real estate, what you do best, right? Learn the platform, get set up for leads, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So in addition to booj, there's other technology tutorial videos, as you see here, Design Center and some of the other items. But I do want you to pay attention particularly to booj. You can also use the search bar and you can type this in, different topics that you're looking for, okay? So I just wanted to let you know that's available. Also, here at Remax INTEGRA, so, and this is, there's so many places you can go for support. So just so you know, there's a couple of different ways you can go about this, but at Remax INTEGRA specifically, which is New England, Minnesota, Indiana, Wisconsin, you can actually go to our support portal called maxhelpsyou.com. Now you're going to have a lot of questions. Things will happen. Technology breaks sometimes. So we need to hear from you what's going on out there. And there's going to be times when you're going to have to get a hold of us. You're going to need to reach out. You're going to have questions. First of all, maxhelpsyou.com is accessible outside of the Max Center platform. You do have an icon or app for it. But you can go here and you can search, and this is a very intuitive platform. So you could type in booj, or you can just go right down here where it says US Knowledge Base. And here's all the help articles and frequently asked questions that we've assembled on booj. It may not necessarily cover your particular question or issue, and that's okay. We have a team that can help you beyond this, but you may find the answer you're looking for. So let's say you run into some issues, because it does happen. I wish I could say it didn't. Let's say that you have a listing that's not displaying right, or let's say that you can't log in, or you're getting an error message and you just can't access some of the tools, or whatever the situation is. You can go up here and hit submit a request. This is going to open up a tech support ticket, which is a great dialogue between you and our support specialists. At Remax INTEGRA specifically, we have 5 full-time individuals located in Central Indiana, ready to help you. They are not outside consultants. They work exclusively for Remax INTEGRA. And it's a great team. We've got Chase, Joe, Wendy, Kyle, and Travis. They're awesome, and they can help you. So this will open up a ticket, open up a dialogue back and forth with you and the support specialist, and they will help you get these issues solved. They may have to go to the Denver tech team at Remax LLC to get these resolved, and that's perfectly fine because we work very closely with them. There is a product support channel inside of this particular platform too. So you get an additional Max Helps You. Mine doesn't show because I'm on a demo account, but there's a Max Helps You tile. There's also support services, which is the Remax LLC help portal. If you are running into issues, so first of all, Remax LLC technology team manages, operates, and develops all of these tools, which includes Max Center, which includes booj. So we have a well-rounded full circle approach to help you. So you might be able to find some information here that you're looking for. We do encourage you to try to go through Remax INTEGRA for a ticket. If not, you can do that in product support. They keep us very closely communicated and connected to when they're hearing from some of you out there. So, okay. And those of you that are not part of Remax INTEGRA, that's okay. Again, you go to this portal as well to get help. Okay. All right. So I don't see any questions. I'm going to just keep on going through this. So you have support, you have Remax University, you know where to go for help, and don't ever hesitate to reach out to us because that's what we're here for. So let's talk really quickly about your Max Center profile. This is a really important piece. Okay. Really important piece, because your profile in Max Center displays and carries over to Remax.com, Office websites, and your own website. And this is important because consumers will see this. So you need to make sure you're looking good and have a really good profile that they can, you can be proud of, and that will get those, entice others to connect with you. So where you need to go inside of Max Center from any page is in the top right corner, and you need to click right here where it says update profile. Now, if you don't see a picture here, if you see a balloon head, that's all well and good, but then you're a secret agent and people may not want to work with you because they can't see you. They can't see your smiling face. So they want to have that human connection. Now, one of the things I want you to pay attention to when you open up your profile is this Remax ID number is unique to you. Okay, you will need this in other instances. You may be asked for your MCID number, and that means Max Center ID number. So for instance, we have an app called Photofy, which is photo editing with Remax graphics, and it's a very cool app. It's not one that we own, but we partnered with them. They will ask you for your MCID number. So jot this down or keep this where you keep all your other numbers unique to you, like your MLS number, etc. Make sure your address is correct here. This is my demo account, so at this point it's a made-up address, but yours should be correct here. If your office address happens to be incorrect, please see your office administrator. They have to correct it at that level. We're going to kind of scroll down here. Let's just jump over here really quick to general info. And this is just something you're going to quickly look over. One thing I do want to point out too, a lot of this information on your profile will display to the Remax referral network as well. In fact, even more details. Really quick, if you're newer to Remax, this ISP email and the remax.net username that you have been assigned by the system is something very important you understand. Now, this is actually an email address. You have permission to use it on signs and business cards and everything else. However, it's not your primary email address. Your primary is your Gmail or whatever you're using typically for that. You can change this at any time. Excuse me. So if, let's say you switch over to Google Voice or some other type of thing, or you develop a team and you need to switch out this email, this is where you would edit it. Just so you know, if someone emails you at the remax.net, and this is going to be tied to your entire booj account, your website, and contact forms for people to get in touch with you, it will get sent to the remax.net, and then it gets forwarded right away to your primary. But it's important that you have the correct primary email. It's also important on your profile, which again will show on all the booj websites, that you have your updated website information, social media. Now you're going to get some homework from me today. So when you come back to this later, just know you can add these at any time, especially your website, because some of you may not have published yet, and you're going to need add your agent website to your profile, which again, consumers can see, as well as the social media. So this is where you start adding the different types of sites. Now I've already added, this is called an agent website, and you're going to find out what that domain is when we go into the websites and your social media and everything else. So whatever it is that you prefer, start adding those and saving those. I do want to make a quick note here that on your Max Center updates, sometimes it might take an hour or so, a couple hours before those actual updates do show up on your profile. So you might want to be patient and wait and see. If it's been more than a day, then certainly contact our support team and they can look into that for you. So take a look at some of these other information. Your phone number, always recommend your cell phone number is front and center. That's what you really want. Please add an updated photo. And by updated, I mean a very clear and crisp, high resolution photo, because otherwise it's going to be grainy and pixelated. That could eliminate you right there from consumers reaching you on Remax.com or any of the booj websites. Also, your fellow Remax agents will see that on your profile, and it just make sure it's a good quality. Okay, so follow those instructions. A professional headshot always does the trick, not selfies. Your license number, you should definitely add your license number, especially in some of your states where it's absolutely required to be on everything. Your specialties, so choose residential, commercial, and then you can start really getting hyper focused on your specialties from there. If you're not new to the business, if you're new to the business, this will come in time, I promise you. Designations, same thing. And then office service areas, you will not be choosing. Now, those are already chosen by your office. So see your administrator at your office if you want to know exactly what those are. But here's what happens when people go to Remax.com and they type in, they're looking for offices or agents in certain cities. That's where you get to shine. You will show up under whatever office service areas they've selected, as well as the physical mailing address of the office. So by default, you all show up for that too. Additional service areas, these are going to be your specific key areas. And what you want to do is add a few of those areas that you particularly work in. Your other Remax agents will see this on the directory. The consumers don't necessarily see this, but when they search, you end up showing up because you put these into the system. So this is really important for lead generation altogether. And then any prior affiliations, if you're coming from another brand, if you'd like to put it here, you can, or you don't have to. It's completely optional. Personal details. This is really important. This is your homework. So as you can see here, this is your opportunity to write your story. This is going to be a big piece of your website and how this is going to display. So you're going to click edit and you're going to take the time to write this. Keep in mind, there's no spell check. There's no grammar check. This needs to all be done on Google Doc or Word document. So definitely take the time, write about who you are, keep it brief. You know, here's who I am. I grew up in this area. I got into real estate because of XYZ. And when I'm not working, I can be found camping, fishing, golfing, whatever it is I like to do. And I also give back to my community. So definitely talk about yourself as a human being, but also why you love real estate and where you do that and where you're an expert at too. If you have an additional educational background to add in here, it's a good time. Civic activities and hobbies are very important for the Remax referral network. So this will definitely be conversation starters and even rapport building. They may have a client they're trying to refer you from Florida who has a very passionate connection to the American Heart Association, like in this example. And you never know. I hear stories about this all the time where agents connect with other agents because of those commonalities. Or the person that they're sending you is a big golfer. They see golf on your profile. That's your hobby. And guess what? You're going to have a new best friend and you can take them golfing when they transfer here to your state. So it works out really good. One of the most important things on your profile in Max Center is to make sure you have what's called an MLS affiliation. Now, again, this is my demo account, but you should click right here and it should actually say that your MLS connection is live. If for some reason it does not, we do need you to reach out to our support team. And there is an email address for INTEGRA folks. It's support@remaxintegra.com, support@remaxintegra.com. Your MLS status must be active because what this is going to associate you with your listings on Remax.com, office websites, and any IDX searches that happen on any booj websites. Those will be associated with you, okay? Then award level. This is not something that we'll get into in depth right now, but if you'd like more information about the different award levels, if you're new to Remax, this is a very prestigious platform where you get to achieve, this is what you can strive for, which is related to your gross commissions and how those all end up and resulted and what level you come to. So this is a lot of fun. You can really push yourself and set these goals for yourself, but see your broker owner about these award levels, okay? I don't see any questions. Let's go ahead and jump back over to Max Center apps. And you just need to have this browser open right here. So we went through those steps and there's a very important reason why, because that's going to feed into the booj system. Now let's go ahead and click on booj. Now, before we jump into this, I want to quickly jump onto the mobile part of this. Now, as we're using Max Center, and as you're using booj on the desktop, you basically have full access to all of the functionality that's inside of those two platforms. On mobile, you might be looking for the mobile access that should be similar. Now, Max Center is in the process of developing an app called Max Center Go. However, right now it doesn't have all the components that you need. So there is a way that you can actually set up Max Center as a shortcut on your mobile device. And I'm actually going to do that with you. So let's just jump into that. And I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. And then we're also going to download the booj CRM mobile app because that's really, really important. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up on the screen here. And we're going to be good. Let me know how you're doing, everyone. I promise to entertain you for the next hour or so, and I will deliver, I promise. Okay, so I've got my phone pulled up here, and we're going to take a look at this now. So what do I mean by making a mobile shortcut with Max Center? So with Max Center, what's going to happen is, first of all, it looks like an app, but it's not. So as you can see, I'm kind of circling up here in the top left corner of my phone. It's got a white background and a red and blue X. So you would think, hey, that's an app. When I click there, it's actually not. What I did was I went to remax.net and then I just set it up as a shortcut on my mobile device. So what you do is you log in using your same credentials. Now I actually have mine saved on my iPhone. By the way, this is an iPhone. And you'll take note that it's already set up now. This is the desktop version of Max Center. So again, all you need to do, now let's start over. If you have an iPhone, you need to do this on Safari. If you have an Android, then of course it's Chrome. So you want to use the native browser on the device. So in this case, Safari it's a blue circle with a red and white arrow. So down here in the bottom, you want to click there and you want to type in remax.net. So remax.net, let's do that. And then you hit go. So again, this is Max Center. You need to use those exact same credentials that you did before. And like I said, and then you can go ahead and log in. And this is going to go ahead and log you in, just like I was before. And you're ready to go. Now, what's the next step? How do I save this as a shortcut? So we've got two different instructions for Android and iPhone. So what we need to do now on iPhone is to pay attention to the bottom of your screen here. Now this is actually an iPhone 8 that I'm projecting. I know the newer ones, and I've got a newer one also as well that has sort of the line at the bottom. But you should all have this square with the arrow. So see how the square with the arrow is pointing upward? So you want to click here. And this is now going to give you this screen. What you want to do is move it up to where it says add to home screen. So see the option to add to home screen right in the middle. You want to click that. And now it's going to ask you to add. So this is iPhone. And I know you're going to watch this back and rewind it. See, I've done it a few times. It's showing on here. If you have an Android and you're on Chrome, go to the top right corner. There's three little dots. Click those. And it'll give you a drop down, and one of the options is to add to home screen. Okay, so you're going to add to home screen, and then it's going to be just like this. It may drop it in a slightly different. I don't know if it'll actually be a red and blue X or not, but then you're good to go. So all you have to do is click here. You just got a lead. You want to go look at some more information about it, and you log in and you go from there. So you're going to log in and go from there. All right. By the way, if you have an iPhone and you want to save your passwords, because I don't know about you, it makes me crazy to have to keep putting my passwords in. Here's a quick little tip. And on Android, I'm sure you have something very similar, but go to your settings. And then you want to scroll down. And you keep going further down, and it says passwords. And it looks like a little gray key. So right there, it says passwords in the middle. And then what you want to do is you want to see where it says Autofill Passwords. So you click that. And then you want to make sure that this toggle is turned to the right. So that means on Safari, the native browser, anytime you enter something on there and you enter the password, it's going to autofill it and save it for you, just like mine was doing, as you probably saw on the screen. It looks like you can also do filling from Chrome using an Apple device. But to do that mobile shortcut, you need to do that from Safari, okay? So just a quick little tip. Let's quickly talk about the booj CRM mobile app. We are going to spend the majority of our time on the desktop today, but I want to make sure you have access to one of the most important apps, especially when it comes to your lead management, and that is the booj CRM mobile app. So the booj CRM mobile app can be found in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And you just find that, and it simply is navy blue with looks like white teardrops. So right here in my countdown 5 rows here, it's the booj CRM mobile app. So make sure you're downloading booj CRM. And then what we're going to do is you're going to need to use your Max Center credentials once again to log in. So Max Center credentials to log in. So again, I'm going to go at a rapid pace here so we can get through all this material. But when you get into the system, when you get into the app, it's going to show all your latest and greatest right here. All your favorites are when your consumers or your contacts are favoriting properties, when they're filling out forms and asking questions about the listings. All this is showing up here by default in your inbox. You can actually go to your contacts records and you can see even more information about them. So I'm just going to type in a name here and basically myself. So I'm just going to click this and you can see all kinds of information about the contact. You can also text them, email them straight here from the CRM inside of booj. But one of the most important things about this particular CRM app is you have the ability to share your personally branded Remax app with anyone else out there, like your buyers especially, from this particular application. Let me show you what I mean by that. So hit the back arrow if you're following along. You have this menu in the top left corner. So you want to click here, and this is going to take you to an app, or excuse me, a screen that has a menu. And what it's showing here are a number of things. So your notifications are your lead events, if you have any outstanding offered leads, but the branded mobile app. I want you to click right here. So when you're watching this back, click here, or maybe you're following along. And what it's going to do, when you click copy, it's going to give me that same option, okay, to text right here. So I'm going to text this message and look what it does. It automatically creates an auto message with a unique mobile URL link so that the person on the receiving end, when they click it, it will prompt them to download the Remax app. And when they open it, it's already branded with your information. And that's super cool, right? So make sure you copy this link. This is your individual unique mobile URL. This is going to be a great lead generator for you. If people are using your version of the mobile app, you automatically are the preferred buyer's agent, and those leads and those inquiries will come directly to you into your booj system. So that's really cool, right? So I want you to really think about that and enjoy that, because that's a good piece of this. So I'm just going to hit cancel, and I'm going to show you really quickly on the consumer side what that looks like. So when they have a branded mobile app with an agent, let me find it first. I've done this many, many times, and I start losing track of all my apps. There it is. So the Remax app, you can download this as a consumer if you'd like, but when they open it and they've got it branded to you, in the menu right here in the top left corner, this means I already have a preferred buyer's agent chosen because I've got an agent right here, and it's super cool, right? So all I can do is I can contact him straight from here. I can ask questions. I can favorite properties, everything that I do, because this agent, this Mike is my preferred buyer's agent. Everything that I do, he will get record of in his booj CRM. So that's really cool. It comes full circle, right? So he's my preferred buyer's agent now in the entire Remax system. So anything I do, even on desktop, he's going to get an activity record of that. Okay. So let me know if there's any questions. Oh, I do see a question. My credentials for the website, Julie says, do not work for the booj app. Go really, really slow. I've noticed, I don't know about all of you, but I type really fast. I have clumsy thumbs on my keyboard on my phone. So make sure you're going really, really slow, and make sure it is case sensitive. Remember, the Mac Center password, it has uppercase and symbols and all kinds of things in it. So try it one more time. But here's the thing though, you can lock yourself out of your account. If you do 3 attempts, it may lock you out. So if you've done a couple times already, Julie, please reach out to support at remaxintegra.com. You can also go to product support at remax.com to get your Mac Center password reset. But we don't want you to lock yourself out. So I've noticed that sometimes it just is really slow to respond to it. It's a little glitch, and Remax is aware of it, but go ahead and take it. So it did work for the website. Okay. So yeah, so just take your time when you're entering it. You never know, you might be hitting the wrong key. I do it all the time. But okay. So Julie, please let me know. Yeah, I would definitely not, you've tried multiple times. So I would definitely leave it there, and then you can watch this back and you can see the instructions again. And please reach out to our support team to help you and make sure that that's working okay. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. But that's sort of our quick mobile overview of how to use booj, as well as Max Center and the Remax search app. By the way, inside of this consumer app, here's what's great is you can actually have them share your app on your behalf. So if they click right here where it says info, up here in the top right corner, it says share, and you can do the exact same thing as before. So let's say that you send this to one person and they have a significant other, and you tell them, hey, make sure you share my mobile app. You could even show them how with the other person, and then you both can be searching, and I'm going to get notified every time either of you do something, right? Let them know, I want to make it easy for you. I'm going to send you my version of the Remax app. Everything you do will be recorded, will be on the same page. I mean, it's a great offering for your client services for sure. So definitely something that you can do. And that's the easiest. There's other ways to share it, but that's actually the easiest way to share it. So Julie, thanks for your efforts. I'm sorry that you're running into a few glitches there. Okay. All right. So I am going to now jump back onto the desktop here. Now, if you are logging into booj for the very first time, then you have a setup wizard and a series of screens you must go through. You have to accept the terms, and then please just power through and keep hitting continue or next on the bottom of your screen until you get to the end. And I'm going to show you how to get back to those settings that you just skipped over. So this is really important. So what you want to do is go up here to the top right corner, and you want to click where it says settings. Okay. So in your settings, what I want you to do is I want you to go up here where it says settings pages. Then we're going to click on contacts and leads, because it's really important that you're set up for success with leads. Under this section now, we are going to go to where it says notifications. This is really important that you have all your notifications turned on, because you do not want to miss any lead opportunities. So the in-app push notifications are not enabled yet. So the development team's working on those. Now you have notifications inside of the booj CRM app. However, they're not lighting up your phone like all your other apps do at this time, but that will be coming soon. Then you've got the ability for email. So you get lead events by email. And you can never be too careful or too safe in making sure you have your email enabled as well as text message to get new leads. The web version means the desktop version. So in the desktop up here, there's the little bell, and you may have some red numbers showing there if you've got some lead activity going on. Okay, so that's always going to be grayed out. Those will always be enabled. So very important you have text message checked off, email, and then you can go ahead and check these off too. But let's quickly talk about this. Leads can actually be transferred or shared with you. Let's say that you do get a referral from Florida, or you send one. You can actually go in your booj CRM and you can share that contact record with that other agent. As long as they're in the US, you can definitely share that contact record. Now you'll have it still and they'll have it still, but it's a great courtesy that you can offer the other Remax agent in the other state that you're trying to send it to. And I can show you how to do that. So you get it referred to you or transferred to you. If someone has chosen you as a preferred buyer's agent and then they unchoose you and choose someone else, you actually can get a notification about that. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you, but it would also be an opportunity for you to touch base and check in and see how things are going. So I would not make reference to this, but I would definitely check in with them to see how things are going. If someone deletes their account, so consumers have an option to delete their account on remax.com, you will get a notification. That's also another opportunity for you to check in with that person. Find out maybe there's a particular reason. Maybe they were not quite sure how to use the platform. Maybe they didn't have a good experience. But ultimately you want to know, what's going on. Maybe they just wanted to unsubscribe and felt they were getting too many emails, but you definitely want to check in with them about that. But if they delete their account, that doesn't delete them out of your booj CRM. So leads, when they're assigned to you, remember I mentioned it's your listing lead, or when you actually accept them, then that lead becomes assigned to you. Okay, so it'll show you are the assigned agent. Then that makes it official that you accepted that lead. If a lead is offered to you, the initial offering, of course, if it's someone who's brand new to Remax and doesn't have a preferred buyer's agent, it'll give you the option to accept or decline. So those will come through as well. And when you import or export your contacts out of here, you can also be notified that those happened, that it was confirmed. Let's move down to where it says offered leads. You can choose up to 10 zip codes of where you want to get leads from. Where would these leads come from? So these would be non-Remax listing leads, as we talked about at the beginning of this. This would also be if a consumer just randomly registers and they happen to be searching in one of your zip codes. You'll get that sent to you as a lead. It'll show that they registered. This can also be for Remax listings. If that original listing agent misses their lead, and I'm just asking, pleading with all of you watching right now, don't miss your own listing leads. But if you do, if it happens, those leads get re-offered to other Remax agents that have signed up for the zip code of that particular property. And again, it goes to the agent who's gone the longest without a lead, then the second longest, and from there. So that's what these zip codes are. So this is part of your homework, but come up with 10 different zip codes. Repeating zip codes do not make a difference. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't. So I would say use 10 different zip codes. For some of you in metro areas, you're going to have a much easier time coming up with 10. Some of you in rural areas may not, but just know, make this the year to cast a wider net. If you put in a zip code that's maybe an hour and a half away, keep in mind there's Remax offices everywhere. You can always get a referral out of it and send this to an agent in that area, but give yourself that opportunity to get more leads. Now this section right here, so this is a demo account, but let's say that you're completely opposed to rentals. And if you're early in your career, I would not recommend that. I would say just take anything, and you never know, those renters can be a buyer in a year. But if you check a box here, you're telling the system, I don't want to get leads from these areas. So this is a trick question. I've gone in here and seen some agents have chosen seller and buyer when actually that means they're telling the system, I don't want to get these leads. So don't check anything at this point. Again, unless you have extenuating circumstances, it's entirely up to you, and talk to your broker owner about that. Make sure your cell phone number is entered into here. So this is important. You want to make sure that that's happening. You just fill in your cell phone number. There's no save button. So once it's in here, it's good. Okay. Any questions? Let me just take a quick peek. I think we're in a good place. All right. Any questions about zip codes or anything, just feel free to type in the chat box. And I am watching on Facebook as well. I see some of you are following along with us, so just let me know. Okay, so we're going to go over to contacts and leads. So now that we've done the settings for them, contacts and leads, right? So I've just kind of inputted some different things in here, and you may not have any contacts in here yet, but let's talk about how do you get your contacts into the CRM. Now, CRM stands for Client Relationship Management. And if you're brand new to real estate, or you're coming from another company where they had a CRM for you and now you need to make the transition, either way, you can import any contacts that you have into the system if they're on a CSV file, or you can also connect them in other ways. So one of the first things you want to do is when you get into contacts and leads is go over here where it says add or import. Let's talk about adding an individual first. Now this is a one-off. This could be someone that just walked in the door. So floor time walk-ins. I know right now a lot of your offices aren't necessarily doing that because of COVID, but at the same time, this could be, or someone you just met, or a referral. One of your past clients just text you the contact information for someone that you're supposed to call. You can enter them one at a time, easy enough. Let's talk about importing. So the next step is you can actually import lists. Now, if you have a client relationship management system with one of these popular industry vendors, as you see here, everything from Boomtown down to Top Producer, what you can do is connect this account. So if you have Follow Up Boss and you connect it to the booj system, it will pull all of your contacts in. And one of the goals you may want to make for yourself is to make booj your primary CRM and have everybody you know in one place. This could also help save you some money if you're paying for these additional platforms outside of the booj system. Maybe this could be what you end up making the switch over to, and you can reallocate those dollars to something else that you've always wanted to try or do in marketing, or just not spend them at all. So that's up to you. I know some of you are very set on what you utilize, but I will say the Remax.com leads, the booj leads from the office, agent, and team websites will always go into booj. So then you can make those connections and get those contacts over to the other platforms. So here's how this works. Again, choose one of these previous systems and then you connect it and it'll pull your contacts in. So right here where it says you've got the CSV file, and this is where you can actually import any CSV file. So this is probably just going to grab one of my latest that's on my list here. So I'm just going to click on this one. Let's find, I don't know. I'll just click this one. It's probably a really simple one that only has names and email addresses. So it must be a CSV. It can't be an Excel file. Okay, so we're going to hit next. If you're storing things on Google Sheets, which is a good thing because it's cloud-based, then you still need to download it as a CSV file. So this happens to be a CSV file that's very simple. It only has names and email addresses. So all you need to do is start importing. So let's say that I've confirmed that all of these are going to happen. Now, a couple of things that you're going to do when you import. And by the way, there's a video on how to do this on Remax University, so you can refer back to it or look at this again. When you import a list, it will automatically tag or categorize everything by the date that it was entered. You could also start adding your own tags. So let's say, like in this case, when we get to do golf outings again, this was my golf outing list, or this was an open house or something like that. And you could even put open house for a certain property address or something like that. So you can make up your own. There's already some in the system that you could choose, and there's a lot of common ones, buyer, seller, etc. Like this one, it was my holiday party for 2020. Or you can type in anything that this applies to. Maybe these are your iPhone contacts from now, this month, so December 2020. So there you go. All right, so that's how that works. And then you hit enter and it'll go on that way. You can go back and you can add tags if you need to. So if you forget about it and you import them and you're thinking, oh no, I just imported 25 people on a list and I forgot to tag them as my golf outing, then that's easy enough. So I'm actually not going to import this. But when you go back to your contacts and leads, then all you need to do is you can search for those people. You can also go by created date. So that might make it simpler for you. So we'll say in this case, you can sort, see how I use these arrows? Let's say that I happen to know it's these first 10 people by the, just kind of go that route. So you choose multiple people, and right here you can mass assign a tag by clicking add tag. And here's my golf outing, and then I hit add. So now I just went ahead and added golf outing to these that I selected that were right at the top because I went by the most recent in that case. You may also notice if you ever want to export these contacts, you need to select at least one of these. So like this one, now you have the option to export. Okay. You can select multiple, or if you select all, this is going to select just those on this page. But if you want to select all of them, like right here, then you select all 2,500 in this case, and then you export them. If you're going to do labels or something outside the system, then that's fine. Then you can do that. One of the things, there's also a really good duplicate tool. So take a look at that because it will accept duplicates and then it'll help you merge and manage that. And it works out really, really good. Okay, let's talk about the last way to get contacts in here. Sync contacts. So you got to add or import and sync contacts. This is a great way to really be organized because down here at the bottom of this page, you can sync your Gmail contacts or your Outlook contacts with your booj system. And that's really a great thing. So you can do either or, you can't do both. But what that means is it's a two-way sync. So when you actually set it up on one side, it's going to sync over to the other. So that works out good too. You can also, while we're on this page, you can connect your paperless transaction management platforms. You can do one of these as shown here, because you can set up and manage your transactions on buyer or list side inside of booj here too. And there's really good videos on that on Remax University. You can also connect your BombBomb account. This is a paid subscription. It's video, email, and lots of other great marketing things to do with BombBomb. But if you connect your BombBomb account to your booj, you can email your clients out of the booj system and access your video library inside of the BombBomb account and send them through this platform also. Remember at the beginning, we talked about getting leads into booj from third-party sources. You actually have that ability from HomeSpotter, Realtor.com, and Zillow. So these are 3 lead generating platforms that it will, if you click here, it will walk you through the instructions on how to connect your account to booj. So what that means is, let's say on Realtor.com, someone finds your profile and they click contact this agent. that's a lead actually. So you don't even have to be paying for leads. When they click on that, it's going to bring that lead inquiry right into your booj account, and it'll say the lead source is realtor.com, or it'll say Zillow or HomeSpotter, just to let you know, okay? So those are actually really the best way to kind of look at those from a contact perspective. If you want to go and start adding your own tags, you can go up here to where it says settings and settings pages. And you can actually go right here where it says contacts and leads. And then you want to go to where it says tags. So this is where, again, you can start adding your own. The gray ones are system added. So Remax has already added those for you. You cannot change those. You can't delete those. You can't even change the colors. But you can color code these if it makes more sense to you. That's the thing. It's your own particular system. Nobody else is looking at this except you. It has to make sense to you. And do it the way you want it to be. Whatever works best, makes you most productive. So like in this case, you know, we've got a golf outing or we've got a holiday party. If we want to create our own, I've actually got 3 pages in here because I've been playing around with this. If you want to add your own, then you just go up here where it says add tag. You know, what would that tag be? Maybe this is going to be a, let's say it's a community event, community food pantry event. You met some new people. You can choose this color wheel over here and you just decide what color do I want that to be. They just added a whole bunch of new ones a few months ago. We're going to call this one slate, or we're going to go add tag. So then you know if this is something, especially if it's something you're going to do on a regular basis or something, a tag that you'll need, they're basically categories. And then you can get more advanced and start marketing directly to certain lists or to those that are in that particular group that have that common interest. You know, that's all things that you can do as well. So just to let you know, I want to talk about one more thing that you can do in the system, and that's texting. You can actually text your contacts out of here, but you do have to set it up. So if you go up here once again to settings, or you can just go to settings pages again. So you go to settings pages again if you're already here, but also I'll just repeat, you go back up here, you go to settings, and then you click on where it says inbox. Now, the inbox is really important because this is how your clients are going to be communicating with you. They will be favoriting properties, they will be hiding properties even, or they have a question or they want to see a certain property. That all comes to you in the communications inside of the booj platform. So you can see those inside the app as we looked at earlier, but then also inside of here, what you can do is you can start texting them out of this platform too. Now the inbox is really important. So you want to have these notifications checked off too. If you received an email directly from the client, so if you email them out of booj, so you use the Crm Mobile App or you use the desktop here and you email them, when they reply to you, their responses will come here into the system. So you will then be able to go into the system, and I'll show you where on a contact record on where to see what it is that they type back to you. So you always want to be notified. A form received, what a form is that little box on a listing where it says, I want more information, and then they can type more information if they want, or a specific question. Hey, what kind of floor does the 3rd bedroom have? Or something like that. They can do that, okay? Text message received. So if they respond to a text message that you sent to them out of the booj Crm mobile app or off from the desktop here, that response is going to come inside of the communications inbox here in booj, and you need to know where to find it, and I'll show you. The relay received, this is not something we've gotten into yet. It has to do with Gmail, but you can leave that alone for now or check it off just so you don't have to worry about it down the road. But let's take a quick peek over at email signatures. Now, we did skip over this because some of you did this in the initial steps, but this is where anything you send out of your booj account, this could be a campaign, we're going to look at those next. This could be anything. How is that going to appear? So you have a signature. Now, by default, this is what it looks like. It's your default name, it's your address, it's your contact information and everything. You can customize this. So for those of you that have teams or are part of a team, maybe you want to set up a team signature. There's not a lot of sophisticated graphics and colorful things you can do with these. As you can see, they are very basic. However, when they come out on the templates for marketing, they're in the Remax blue and they look nice. So just to let you know, there's not a lot of advancement here. I know that there's talk of them being able to add a little bit more down the road. So we'll look forward to some of those things in 2021. But meanwhile, just keep it simple. Put your name if you want to bold your name, so you can even do italics and even other things. You can hyperlink things. So like right here, let's say this is your website address. If I want to hyperlink that, it's going to ask me where I want that to go. So when people do email back to you or they want to see more about you, your website will go there. Okay. So you can add, I don't know if there's a limit on signatures. To be honest, I haven't necessarily tried that or tested that. But in this case, you would definitely want maybe 1 or 2. Okay. Let's click on text messaging. Now this is where you're going to have to set up your text messaging. I've already done this on my account, but you should have a box up here that says enable text messaging. And when you click on that, it's going to give you an option to choose a phone number that's an area code that's near you. So what happens is when you text someone from the system, that's the number that will appear, because there's no way for the system to text from your phone. So some of you might have mixed feelings about this. I certainly get a lot of questions about this when I'm training, and in person especially. What happens is you're going to text the person, but here's what's the advantages to doing it this way. When they start texting you back, you're going to get those responses. They're going to come to you. You're going to have them in their communications record. So first of all, it's going to save you a lot of time, because a lot of you do like to keep track of your text messages. That you want that to be part of your client record. This is going to help record that for you and help eliminate any manual entry or extra work you might have to do. So you got to balance it out. It's a little bit of an inconvenience where it's texting from a number that's not necessarily your cell phone number, but at the same time, it's also helping you keep track of those really important communications. So think about that, and you can play around with that tool to choose a phone number that you prefer. Okay. But remember, it all gets forwarded to your cell phone anyway, and then they're ultimately going to have that number too, but it's just a good way to keep track. Any questions on that? Okay, let me see. I think I see a chat going on here. What if offered leads does not show on the left side? So if you are a broker owner, then and you're in an office account, then offered leads will not show up there. So that's only for the agent level. So you can toggle between roles. So Robert, let me know what your role is in your brokerage there. If it's not showing there, it's not available for offices, just at the agent level. I would also need to know exactly what you're seeing. And by the way, offered leads, so just to let everyone know how you get to those again, you go to settings pages, then you go to contacts and leads, and then you have offered leads. So I get this question a lot. Sometimes you're just not in the right place. Offered leads again is zip codes and text messaging. So once again, you go to settings. Oh, you found it. You were on your team page. That was going to be my next thing. Are you a team leader? Okay, good, Robert. I'm glad you found it. Answer that right away. Okay, good. Thanks so much. Okay, so we're going to keep moving through here and make sure you know exactly what's going on. Let's talk about campaigns. So there's so much we could talk about with contacts. Very comprehensive system. Use those filters. You can search, you can sort like we did before. Now I want you to just jump directly. So first of all, campaigns. Automated drip campaigns and automated newsletters are not enabled yet. However, you can still send them. You just have to go through a different way. So if you've kind of clicked through some of these and wondered why nothing's showing, like in this section, just so you know, when drip campaigns do get enabled, you have a whole dashboard here. So you'll be able to see click-throughs and bounces and all of that type of scientific data. Some of you may not be interested in that, but a lot of you might be. But it's a good gauge to show your return on your efforts and your marketing. But what I want you to do is to jump all the way down here to where it says content templates. Now there's an entire library full of newsletters and other type of communications. There's holiday themed ones. There's even a template that shows up here on how to asking for reviews actually. So by default, it just goes to 5 results per page, but you can change this to a different number, and then you can see a lot more of what's going on in the booj system. So here you go. So it's going to load here in just a second. Sometimes there is a delay. So if you're trying to do this with me, there we go. Just kind of got to let it load. Don't keep hitting refresh because it'll go back to the five campaign templates again. So be careful with that. Okay, so we've got right here. Here we go. So newsletter. So there's the holiday ones. There's even a birthday one. So you can have fun with that with your clients, and things about home inspection. So pretty much what you might expect, but take some time to look through those and see what's available. Here's the best part. I'm going to open up the December newsletter just so you can see it. There's a preview option. For some reason, mine was still loading, but I just know it's there. So when the newsletter loads, so you can edit the entire newsletter if you really feel adventurous and have the time. Some of you, I'm just going to say, if you just want to focus on real estate, like we said at the beginning, these newsletters are already written for you. Someone in the Remax marketing team has already done that. All right, let me just exit out of here for a second. It needs to give me that option to preview. Maybe it's my internet connection. I apologize. I'm not sure why it's loading so slow. There we go. So all of this is editable. So you can even swap out the photos. You could change the headline. You can add hyperlinks to different things like this. Here's some creative thoughts. So it's not too late to send out the December newsletter already. So especially if you're new to Remax, start importing all your contacts into here, and you can send out the December newsletter and get it out there because it's very applicable. It's very festive and holiday themed. So all of this right here. So again, it's all written for you. Now mine's a demo account. So yours is going to have your information, your phone number, and everything else will be added into here. So again, send it out like it is, or you can edit it, but I'll show you how to do that. So what you want to do is then, because we're in the process of they're building the automation piece of it, you can just go ahead and send this out every month as you wish. So what you need to do is go up here to the top, and then you want to click over here where it says, so I'm on where it says single, and then I'm going to choose a single campaign, and we're going to call this December newsletter. December newsletter. And then I would put the year, so you're going to have a lot going on. Leave it on single because this isn't recurring. This is a newsletter. You're not going to recur and keep sending the December newsletter. So now you get into this building platform. You want to click where it says select template. We're going to get through this because I want to get to the websites as well. I know you're anxious too. And then in this case, it's going to pull up all those templates that we looked at before, and then it's going to give you the option. Hopefully your internet speed is running a little faster than mine, but it's going to give you the option to choose the template. So as this is loading, I'm going to click here. When you click on it, then you go to the right-hand side and then you click use this template. Okay, so now the template's preloaded, and then it's going to give you the option to edit it. So when we get into the websites, this is very similar. These are content blocks. So you can go into, here's the headline. I just hit the little pencil, and maybe I want it to say something else, you know, happy holidays from me, or like I said, you can hyperlink the text right here where this goes directly to your website. So you paste that in here. So that's up to you. I'm just going to click save changes. You can go inside of each of these blocks. Like I said, I've seen agents go in and swap out the photos. You could even try to drop a video in there if you want to. We're going to go save and continue. And I would play around with this. You certainly can't break it. And you also want to send yourself a preview. So you can look at the preview, or you can send a test. I always recommend before you send anything to the masses, send a test email by doing so right here. And you can type in any email address you want. You can send it to your significant other, send it to one of your kids, send it to someone else so that they can let you know and verify that everything looks okay, everything's lined up okay. Change the subject line, whatever you want. Now you can schedule this in advance. So let's say you want to work on this today, but you don't want it to go out till Wednesday. Then you just choose Wednesday's date, which is the 16th. And then right here, what you've got is just choose the date, the time of day. 3 a.m. probably not a good idea. I was about to click on that. 8 a.m. So on Wednesday at 8 a.m., I want this to hit their inboxes first thing, so that, because I know I'm competing with Target and all these other retailers right now, that you want it to hit first thing. So that's good. Now adding the recipients. So this is where a couple of things. So you can actually set up what are called recipient lists. So you have a very specific list for a very specific group. Again, maybe it's a community event, it's a book club, it's your golf outing buddies or whatever. So what you want to do is you click on actions, and then you could do load recipient list, or you click add recipients. Now there's 3 different options. If you want to do something very basic, again, this could be one particular group. This could be a smart list where you want to actually search by zip code. Maybe you only want to target a certain neighborhood or something like that. You could send it to everyone, or again, a very specific list that you saved. And then you add them. And like I said, you can save and schedule, or you can send now. So I would test this out. I would definitely do that to yourself. Take a look when you get a moment at the listing manager and some of the things that exist inside of here. This is why having your MLS affiliation, I don't have anything here, it's a demo account, but your listings, if you have any active right now, should show up here. If for some reason they don't, please reach out to support. They can double check that your MLS affiliation is working. And that means these will be displaying on Remax.com and Zillow and some of our other syndication partners. Under reports is where you would find seller reports. So these are going to be some reports that show virtual views and clicks on Remax.com and the booj system. So I know listings are selling so fast right now, you may not be able to get these type of reports out, but if you have some listings that have been activated for some time, that might be a good opportunity to go in here and again, send yourself a seller report and it'll show you what it looks like. All right, let's click on the website and then dashboard. Thanks for hanging with me, everyone. Just let me know that we are meeting your objectives. I'm going to do my best to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes. So we want to talk about websites. So there's so many things you can do with the websites. You can get very sophisticated, create your own images and start really designing from a graphics perspective, or you can keep it real simple. So on my particular site, so first of all, when you open the website, so again, I went to website and dashboard. This is how you access your homepage. Now, some of you might not have published yet, so you will see a button over here to the right that says publish. I encourage you to go ahead and publish it, because what's the worst thing that can happen? You get a lead, right? Especially if your MLS is enabled, that this means consumers can start searching on your website. So hit the publish button. In fact, I want you to do that in order to do what we're about to do next. It will then show you a URL or an actual domain name that Remax or the system has assigned to you. And this is something that you will use moving forward. So you have permission to use it on signs and marketing and everything else. So it's usually your username, your remax.net username, .remax.com. That's your domain. So mine's testagent17, excuse me, .remax.com. Okay. So that's how that works. So if I click here, it's going to take me to my website. And I've done a little bit with this, and it may look different than yours, okay? I'm going to show you how to fix this, but I've added a kitchen photo. I have search. I have my bio block, okay? Remember that little descriptive I typed in on my Mac Center profile? This is where it shows up. And I have this box, and I have some social media. Now, what I did was, hey, there we are. What I did was, I have a very simple homepage, and that's what I highly recommend that you start out with also. So one of the key components is I recommend 4 basic things on the homepage. I recommend search, about you, featured listings, and how to get in touch with you. So if you want to jot those down, search, about you, featured listings, and how to get in touch with you. Now, before we start building the homepage, I want to show you an important setting. Up here where it says website, I want you to click on website and then website settings. There's an option right here that I want you to really focus on. First of all, the top one's about registration, but down here, right now, inventory is selling really fast in a lot of the markets, but the featured listings block on your website will show your 6 most recent listings. If at any time this year, or if you feel like you could fall below 6, then the block's only going to show 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever number you have. Obviously, it looks better when it's a full block and shows 6 most recent. If you want to choose the fallback setting right here, show my listings as well as from these sources, my office, okay? So again, this is like a fallback. If that means if there's not just, if you don't have 6 listings, this will fill it in with your office listings. So that's always a good thing to do. Help your other Remax peers promote their listings too, and they'll do the same for you. Or again, if you always have inventory running, then you choose show my listings only. Something else that's important at the top here is registration. Now, you've been to a website where you started looking around and then they ask you to register. A lot of the newspapers are like that, like Wall Street Journal, I want to read this article. Well, it's going to ask me to register or pay or whatever. You can have a relaxed registration. So that means anyone can browse freely, but then they can leave. And there's no, you don't get their information. So there's always a risk with that. And you have to think about the competition, because I know Zillow, Realtor.com, they don't require registration, but you know what? I think they have a way to follow people around, because then all of a sudden you start getting emails from them. It's really interesting. Relaxed is open registry or open browsing. Restricted, now this is where it gets interesting. You can actually decide a number. If you feel, if someone browses or looks at, let's say 20 listings, that might be someone I want to capture. So maybe I put a limit on that, or 15 or 10. I mean, 10's a lot of listings to look at. Now that could very well be a serious person. So they can look at, when they open up 10 different listings, detail pages, after the 10th one, your website will ask them to register, I guess, to kind of see how serious they are, right? So you get to decide here. So think about that. And then you want to go up here where it says save settings and make sure that that's all set up. So I want you to do that first because of what we're about to do. We're going to take a look at your home page. So I saved that. Now I'm going to go back to website and dashboard. Remember, search, about you, featured listings, and how to get in touch with you. So before we get into the actual components or content of the page, let's look at the overall layout. So right here where it says change homepage, I have chosen on this particular website, it's a layout called Agent Social Layout. Now ignore all these extra pages I have, because I have all kinds of madness going on in my demo account because I train a lot with it. In fact, this looks strange too. I've never seen that before, but you should choose, what I recommend you choose, if you want the search bar to be front and center on top of the main image, you choose the agent search layout. If you want to do agent social layout like I did, check the box here and go down to the bottom and save it. Like I said, ignore kind of the strange things going on my demo account here. So that's what's going on. So now what I want to do is I want to go into the content of this page. We're going to click on Edit Agent Social Layout. Remember what we just looked at on the newsletter? This looks just like the newsletter. So now we can go in and we can start building from here. So I don't know if they're working on the website or if there's an error going on. Let me just refresh this. There we go. That's what I wanted. I was like, why does that look like that? Okay. So yours hopefully looks like this too. Now, the preview window on the right-hand side is what the page actually looks like, and the left-hand side is the content. Now you might have, here's what's nice about this too. Again, if you just want to focus on real estate, turn on your website and go. There's already out-of-the-box content created for you. So that's something that those of you that want to be just out doing what you do best and not have to worry about setting up websites, you're set. So there's already out-of-the-box content Remax has provided for you. But if you want to get a little more focused on it, you can basically start from scratch and build it this way. So I've already got my search, right? And by the way, it's a full search on your your individual agent website, and any leads generated on your individual agent website, those don't get offered to anyone but you ever, okay? Because this is your virtual storefront. This is your lead generator. So up here at the top, so this is where I can change out the image. So you've got a header image, you hit the pencil, and then it's going to open up this view, and then you can go right here and click on the pencil again, and then click on the image itself. So there's a lot of pictures that Remax has already provided for you inside of here. I've added some of my own, but you can now search by name. So let's say that I really want a picture of a living room. So I just type in living room, and any picture that's tagged with that will come up. So maybe, you know, this past month I had a kitchen and it just kicked me out. Sorry. So I want to go living room again, living room or family room, whatever is applicable. To be honest, I've never looked at all 400 pictures in here, so I'm sure there's things I'm missing. All right, so this is good. So we're going to choose this one. And you'll know it's ready to go when it's over here, and then you just click insert. Okay, then I'm going to hit, now the image description really is just for you internally, but we're just going to hit save changes. And then we're going to hit the back arrow. Okay, so there's my new image. My search bar is ready to go. The bio, so you want to add the bio block. The bio block is about you, and here's how you add a new block. You click on add block, and this is going to show you all these different little content blocks that are available to you, which works out really good. So then you want to choose the bio block. Some of you might really like this. I mean, it can be fun to work on your website. So the bio block, by the way, notice you can't make any changes to it because it's already set up based on the information we put in our Mac Center profile way at the beginning of this session. Okay, so not much you can change there. I'm just going to go back. Now I'm going to actually get rid of it because I already had it in there. But just so you know, when you add something and the green toggle is turned on, that means it will be live on your website. Keep in mind there's going to be at least a half-hour delay when you're updating your booj website before it goes live in the live environment. Okay, so there will be a delay, so you won't see it happen right away. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. But when you add your blocks, let's say you want your bio block to be moved up, right? So you hover over and get sort of this little crisscross thing going. And then you move it up to where you want it to be. So I want this to be right under the main header. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of this one because it's the second one. So see how it told me, hey, you already have this. You can't have two in a row. But you just move it where you want it to be. So we've got search, we've got about me, featured listings. Now featured listings can be done a couple different ways. Now I have a demo account, so these aren't going to populate the way I would like them to, but let me show you a live website where you can see an example of this. Let's go to, here, I've got a site right here. Let me just find one that has featured listings that'll show you. And all my many bookmarks here. There we go. All right, so this is actually, so this particular agent got a nice, clean, very simple page. So this is agent's social layout, tburrows.remax.com. This is an agent in Idaho, actually. So here's his bio. He actually wrote a custom bio for himself. He actually has reviews. So that's something, that's another best practice. So you could do testimonials from Zillow or manually. He's got his social media and a video and all of that. So it's probably not the one. I want to show one with featured listings. Let me just do this. Here's one of our Wisconsin agents, tracythompson.remax.com. I have plenty of sites to show you, but some of them are very advanced. I don't want to intimidate anyone in any way, but we're getting this one to load. So the featured listings block, like I said, is your 6 most recent, and or you can have your office listings show up in there sort of as fallback, which is always a good thing. Something is going on with my browser. All right, we'll come back to that. But your featured listings block, so you go to add block, and then you can do a couple of things. Now, feature listing will be just your 6 most recent or the office. Or if you want to get even more specific, you can also use what's called the save search block. Let's say that you want to showcase homes for sale just across the entire MLS in your particular town, because you know that's a popular thing, right? So this is where you would name it. You don't have to call it featured listings, but you would call it homes for sale. And then, you know, you could even just say the name of the town. I'll just say any town, USA. You would put the name of your town. Then of course you want newest first, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want a different criteria. Location. So this is where you're actually going to put the name of your town. So I'm just going to put in, I'm going to pick a area where I'm at. Actually, I'll do a zip code. Just this is what my demo account's tied to. So you can do a zip code. I would recommend you put the name of a city. If this will let me. Again, my demo account may not be working right for me. So you put in your actual location and then it starts adding. So see what it did already? It's got homes for sale. That'll be the name of your town. By the way, you can get more specific. You can do lakefront homes for sale, condos for sale versus single family. Look at all these additional filters you can set this block up at. Again, certain criteria for the property, for the listing itself. You can eliminate certain pieces, like maybe you don't want rentals to show up here, you only want for sales. And then you can also do this by, as you can see right here. So now I know one of you for sure I know is on a team. So you could just show just by your team. So if I click teams, you can actually type in your team name here, where in this block, you can show it just by the name of the team. Or if you want to show a particular listing, so this is where you go and you start typing the name in. I'm going to change this to all listings. You can also go by your office or yourself as an agent. Or if some of you are partnered up with and if you're newer to the business and maybe you've got a seasoned agent that's mentoring you, maybe you have permission to show their listings on your website. So you could do that too. So I'm just going to do save. And like I said, it's not going to load the way it should because it's provisioning data from a demo page, but it'll show you blocks of your listings themselves. Let me see if this one finally loaded. If it didn't, well, I've got a different one I can show you. There we go. Okay, so this one is good. Oh, there it is. It was featured listings. So your featured listings can look like this, or like I said, you can set it up where they're in a block. So there's actually grid style, and then this is called slideshow style. This kind of has a more upscale look to it with the featured listing style. And then she's done some other things with her social media. Tracy's all about video, so she's got video on there too. So that works out really good. That's tracythompson.remax.com. Another one that's really good, this is an agent in Minnesota, JimLeeHarris.com. Hi, Jim Lee, if you're watching, love your website. So this will be loading here in just a second. She's actually done her own custom images in Canva, and then she uploaded them into the booj system when she was updating it. So she's done some customization here with all kinds of different things. There's a Remax blog. Here's featured listings. This is what I wanted to show you. So this is, it can be grid style or it can be the carousel style like we saw previously. Let me know if there's any questions, if that's helpful. I'm trying not to make this too difficult on the initial run here. Something else you can do too. So yeah, and you can move these around. So like, let's say I want to get rid of featured listings and I want to move the safe search block up. Let's talk about your contact form and social media. So I'm going to move this down. So remember, it's search about you, how to get in touch with you, and featured listings in the middle. So how to get in touch with you also includes social media. So you may want to add the social block. So you want to add the social block so it'll look just like this. So you choose social media. And here's what's great about it. So, but if you're just getting things off the ground and you haven't rebranded yourself across the board with Remax on social media, you can just use the Remax content. So it will stream the Facebook and the Twitter content that the Remax LLC marketing team is putting out. So it's constantly updated. So there's always activity. You can leave it right here where it says use Remax profile. If you want to use your own, so right here, then you have to go ahead and copy and paste the URL of your business page from Facebook directly onto here, and then you save it there. Same thing with Twitter, same thing with, and then you can even turn on, watch what happens. All these are up here. So when you turn them on, Pinterest, this one actually has a feed too. Might look a little imbalanced though, because see where it shows up underneath. So maybe I don't want to show the feed. And all it's going to do is just show the icons up here. Okay. So that's what it looks like when it's done. So I'm going to get rid of that since I already have it. And then finally, the contact form. It's really important people know how to get in touch with you. So when you click add block, it's going to be the contact form right there. So when you open it up, you can actually call out what it says at the top. So like I put in contact me today, or you can say connect with me, or I want to connect with you, or we want to hear from you. You know, you could say questions, contact me today. Save. So that'll save it as on the top of that contact form right here. So it's up to you. I'm going to get rid of that one. And there we go. Because people tend to look for that. They want to get in touch with you. They're going to, or they look at your website and go, this is great, but I'd rather have my agent do this for me. They're going to want to get right in touch with you. Okay. All right. That was a lot of information. Like I said, I wish I had more time to go over these websites with you, but please check out the videos on Remax University. There's so much great content. Any last minute questions, kind of doing a last call, questions, comments? Did I help you meet your objectives today? Please let me know either way, because we will continue to do these. And the platform continues to evolve. So check in with us maybe next month for a little bit and see what's new and exciting in the booj platform. There's always updates and always enhancements coming. Don't forget about the mobile component and how to utilize that, and you'll be in a good place, okay? Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays to you. I enjoyed being your host today. Thanks for staying with me the whole time. Take care, and best of luck and best wishes with booj.